Welcome everybody to our Monday, January 24th, 2022 meeting. Call this meeting to order. Is there any agenda additions or deletions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add a short executive session on a personnel matter.
All right, could that be done towards the end of the meeting?
At the end of the meeting.
Yeah. All right.
And also, under new business, as the BCA chairman, I just need to bring attention to the townsfolk about redistricting. So, if we could add that to, if Cash is willing to add that to his motion, to new business.
Yep.
And if you are, I'll second it.
All right. Oh, any comments?
I have another addition I would like to put on.
Rob, do you have any? You don't have any, you can add that on so we can do this all in one motion.
Yeah, it's technically Cash's motion. I seconded it, so.
Okay. Cash, you don't have a problem with Rick?
Nope.
What is that, Rick?
This was handed to me by Marion Steffens from down the road. About a thing called we could, and I don't, and just see where.
But we can
where
do
the-
that in our regular meeting.
We can, if you want. Yeah, it's not a
All right, so hold on.
executive session thing, so let's do that separately.
All right, so first of all, let's deal with the executive session motion made by Cash, seconded by Rob.
Yeah, and he included my request for the BCA.
Okay, so all those in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Alright,
Anyone opposed? All right, Rick?
so I would make a motion that we, in discussion out here, just to go over this, piece that you all have a copy of it. And give a quick read on it and just see what our thoughts are about it.
That's under new business?
Or would we be better off to put it on the next agenda, since we just got it tonight?
Yeah, I'd like more information about it, study it more,
That would work out with.
table it.
Do you wanna just make a motion for it to be on the next agenda?
Yeah, let's do that. That way you
The
guys
next
have a
meeting?
chance to read
The
it.
next meeting?
And
Okay.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it for it to be on the next meeting's agenda.
All right, so we'll
make a plan.
put this in the secret drawer. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Approval of the, budget workshop minutes for, 23.
I looked through and I would make a motion that we approve those minutes.
Second.
Is there any comments or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And then the minutes of January 10th, our regular meeting, I ask for a motion.
Move for acceptance presented?
I'll second that.
All right, is there any concerns, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, highway, road commissioner, you have anything?
Yeah, just for an update, we actually upgraded the lights down to the shop at the town garage. What a difference. We were able to remove the existing lights and it gave us a lot more headroom for lifting the bodies in the trucks. And it really works out a lot better. We put the lights down just off the ceiling, aiming down so we can see underneath the trucks. You can't see 100% better, but a lot better with reflection. It's quite impressive. That project's completed. On truck 14, the single axle international, a neighboring town was interested and they just purchased it.
Is it gone at this point?
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. We gotta finish up paperwork on that. They sold it for $15,000. And
Good.
let it go.
Yeah,
Yep.
we
And
asked you at the previous meeting to see what you can do with it, and
Right.
that's good, I'm glad that it
I
worked
didn't
out.
have, actually I reached out to a couple towns that were looking for trucks and they're all requesting trucks with wings on them. And that was gonna be hard to sell without a wing.
Yeah.
And we're actually fortunate that this town needed a truck. One of theirs apparently blew up, and
Oof.
And it was sold strictly as is.
as is. As is, whereas, yep.
So I guess you worked with the treasurer to
Yep.
put
I
those
know.
funds where they.
Yep.
Good. Anything else?
And that's all I have right now.
Any questions of the road commissioner? All right, hearing none.
Yeah, just one thing, Cash. I know you know it's there. Just kind of keep an eye on it. I know nothing you can do with this time of year. That bridge right by Chambers, the potholes are
potholes.
getting,
Yeah.
they're beginning to be more of them, you know?
Is this, now you talked about potholes.
That's the one.
That's the one that we
I was
were
looking
talking-
at Cole River potholes, and I couldn't see no
Yeah.
potholes up there, and
Yeah. The next day when I went up into Rutland, then I realized I said
for
the
some
wrong
reason
bridge.
she's potholing up, losing that top.
That's what happens when you come from the flatlands.
Okay.
And that's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Warrants are sitting over here if anybody wants to see how we're spending our money. Guests. Yeah, good. Could you introduce yourself for,
Yeah, sure. Stand up so this, the post is in the way. I'll even take my mask off so I'm
Yeah.
not far enough away. You can see me more. So, hi, I'm Martina Barnes. I'm the district ranger in Manchester, Vermont. And I don't know if you've met in the past, I've met John Sinclair, here's our forest supervisor, or Chris Matrick, he's the district ranger that covers the north half of the national forest. But Clarendon has 63 acres of national forest system lands, and as you know, the Clarendon Gorge section is, not too far from here, and so the office that I manage in Manchester also oversees the management of the Clarendon Gorge area, even though it's adjacent to state lands as well, but part of the Appalachian Trail corridor. So I've been here actually now for 1 year, and I've been making the rounds, but with COVID it's been
yeah,
challenging. At times I definitely prefer to go to places in person and meet people, and I've been trying to just get out in the community and just get to know the select boards and let you know that I'm here to help if you have questions about the national forest or issues, concerns that you're dealing with, and just tell you a little bit about what we're up to. We've got several active timber sales, not in Clarendon, but on the forest. We also do a fair amount of recreation type projects, primarily in the summer months, but also in the winter snowmobile activity as well. So we work in close partnership with VASA on the motorized trails in the summer and VAST in the winter, as well as with a lot of the other, partner groups. We hopefully, I don't know if, did I email with you?
Yeah, I'm Katie.
What's your name?
Katie.
Katie, yes. So I don't know, Katie, if you get the town report, this town meeting report. I printed a copy so I can leave it with you, but the town meeting report is something that the forest prints every year, and it just kind of goes through. It's in pretty great detail about the specific activities that are happening all across the forest, whether it's like road projects, maintenance projects, infrastructure, recreation, timber harvesting, like the whole gamut, wildlife projects. So I'll leave that with you, Katie. And then I also brought a couple of maps. I can leave those with Katie as well, just to show where the national forest is in relation to the Appalachian Trail and some of the other public lands that are like state or municipal lands around Clarendon and Shrewsbury and Wallingford. the closest timber sale that we have going on now is called the Bully Brook Timber Sale, and that's in Wallingford. So that's happening as we speak, since we primarily do winter harvesting for timber. So, and some summer harvesting, but that's happening. That's like the closest one to you. But yeah, I didn't have a specific agenda. I'm just trying to get out and be a little bit of the face of the Forest Service and in the Manchester Ranger District, and trying to just be more present. And if you have any questions,
I have one.
yeah.
The 63 acres you speak about, that's including the Mill River, the gorge, or is that also,
I think that is including, that's like according to the tax record, 63, I'll verify that, but that's what I saw in our like land report, shows that 63 acres is within the municipality of Clarendon, so.
Basically, like where the long trail goes across and down to the swinging bridge and then out. I think it goes out this ridge,
Here's the,
is my understanding of it.
So it's actually that river corridor down.
I think
not really, 'cause it doesn't really come
it's just
this
a sliver here, I'll show you this, you can kind of see.
Yeah.
My counterpart manages that half of the forest, sort of north of Route 4, if you will.
Right.
And then there's the Rutland Forest Service office is actually temporary, well, it's closed, and they're building a new office, and in the town report, it talks about that. There'll be a new Forest Service headquarters in Mendon, right off of Route 4, kind of two-thirds of the way up the hill there, across from FICO, sort of. But that's under construction, and the plans are for that to be opened, I think, in 2023.
I got, I had the pleasure of assisting two of the law enforcement agents
Oh.
because of, I was with the Rutland County Sheriff's Department at that time.
Oh, okay.
They had a gentleman up there that decided to make the trail working that area. And discovered that he
Nice.
actually dug himself a shelter.
Rec
I'm not a hiker.
Was living
Rec Committee, I thought.
Rec Committee, I know what it is.
relics.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He was a finally fought up.
Okay.
And I happen to know the guy that it was sad to see that he kind of lost his mind or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, but it was interesting, but that,
So have you been up in any of these trails?
To be honest, I haven't been yet to this section of the forest. I've tried to see a lot, but it's about 240,000 acres, so, it's just,
That'll give you something.
exactly. I've got time. I'm planning to be here for a while, but did you have a question?
Yeah, okay, the Greens estate lands that you have, correct?
The,
And-
Green Mountain is the, federal lands, so the lands that are, it's really just the yellow lands.
Just the yellow is them, green is state.
The green that are on the map is state, yeah.
So what we're talking about really, that falls under her office, would be the,
Appalachian Trail.
Appalachian
that
Trail.
really the Appalachian Trail corridor. I mean, it's really what it really is. It's that yellow.
Yeah, it's just
If
that
there's a
yellow.
fire up there, what kind of support do you provide?
If there's a fire, well, we'll work with our dispatch center which is actually technically in New Hampshire, but,
Okay.
we immediately, we have one engine on the forest, so, that has been sufficient since we don't often have
It's okay.
wildfires. but-
Checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
I don't
have-
want to be
Fire chief curiosity, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a hiker. I don't
And
like
it's
forest
actually-
fires.
it's yeah, we have a brand new engine too,
Okay,
so that's,
cool.
yeah.
Where's that housed? Manchester?
It's at Mount Tabor, at the, work center, the Mount
Okay.
Tabor Work Center, which is in Danby
Yep,
there.
yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Keith Sargent is our engine captain.
Well, thank you for coming
Yeah, I
and
just
taking the
wanted,
time.
sorry to,
Appreciate it.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
it took me so long, but I'm trying, like I said, I've been trying to get in person with people, and if you have any questions, I can.
I've been here a while, you've been here a long time, and this is the first time I've ever remember having a representative here, so,
The
since
only-
I've been here, so.
Well, no, actually,
I'll give you
When-
my card.
the, Conservancy group turned over the gorge.
The easements on it.
They,
Yeah, but
Remember
that's
they
state,
had-
that's not federal.
yeah, but they.
Yeah, they did that federal.
But they had, oh, what the heck was his name?
Do you know if they still have that
He
festival
came
up there
down
in Mount Tabor? You know
when
what I
they
mean, the
sold
Rainbow
that.
Festival?
To stand up for the state.
No, I mean,
Mars,
it
wasn't
may
it, that
come
came
back
down?
here,
Huh?
but that was a thing.
Was it just that?
Kind of a stocky,
Yeah.
You had to provide security
stocky
for it, didn't
guy.
you?
I didn't get the chance to go up there.
Yeah, I don't
wasn't
remember his
there
name, but
that time too.
Yeah, they,
We had an outpost.
they may be back. They're usually, they pick every year, I think they do one in the east, one in the
Yeah, they
west, one
kinda
in the
keep
east.
them.
They kind of flip flop with their membership.
Yeah,
I only have 3 business cards, but you can just,
Oh,
here
no,
you
that's
go.
good. Thank you.
interesting group, is all I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
oh, thank you. Taking the time
Thanks
to
for
come
coming
down.
in.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Appreciate it. Be safe.
Yes, you too.
Public comments? Whole business, overweight permitting. Wanna, go over that with us?
Yeah, so you said that we would start issuing them in January 1st, and we received one last year for this year. So Cash and I kind of went over the permit, but I guess I just wanted official permission, either, like, who do you want to sign off on it?
I'd like to make a motion that we just, between you and Cash, if there's a spot for Cash to sign them, I mean, I think it's very much a roads thing, and not to
Yeah.
dump work off of us, but I think that it just makes sense. If they come in, everything's in order, it gets processed, and the road commissioner is aware. I mean,
the plus, good night now. And the plus to that, Robbie, would be that he would have that on his files in case it's a Friday in case.
Sure.
That's all.
Well,
mean, I
Heidi also will have something going on her end as well. For,
sure, because she has to process the payments.
Yes.
But I think it just makes sense that it's an office thing. I don't see it needing to come before the whole board.
No.
It's
No.
just added something that we don't really need to be dealing with, I don't think.
Because they're out there every day, they know
Sure,
what needs to be
Wanna
done.
make a motion on that, so we have,
I did, it's a motion.
And I'll second
I
it.
didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
Just, I make a motion that it be processed through the office with Cash.
Okay.
And the second.
My second still stands, yeah.
All right.
You can throw something at me later.
Please hit him, don't.
He's awful quiet tonight, you notice that?
I just signed my paper in there for March.
I know, it's good.
I can reverse it, you know.
That's just all I wanted to hear from you guys. So.
Okay, so all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, Selectmen's report,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
one other issue under, the old business. Last meeting, we had a little concern regarding, mail and parcel deliveries up in the village.
Yes.
Well, I talked to a couple different people, and I talked to Lisa in the post office. The problem seems to be, from what I'm getting from everyone, is not with the mail as much. Of course, Brenda knows everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's half the issue. But the big outfits that are delivering through FedEx, UPS, them, all they're putting down is just 7B Clarendon.
Okay.
And this is where the problem's coming in. Because I talked to, one gentleman who lives right there in the village. He gets quite a lot of stuff through Amazon. And he, pardon me, he has it delivered at his, I believe he said his brother-in-law's in Rutland. Because they don't find him, and he's right in the village, right there on 7B. You know, but I understand that driver's position too, if all he's got's an address of 7B with no
Sure.
number or nothing. You know, so I think it's something,
So so based on that, you don't see it as an E911, like we need to rename issue?
no, according to Lisa, the post office, her and 911 coordinate together. They're
Okay,
both the same.
okay.
So the issue is with,
The actual delivery company.
Independent drivers and stuff getting the wrong.
well, they gotta get the people that are doing the shipping. Whether it's Amazon or some medical corporation or whatever it is. to have the address of where it's gotta go,
The
and not
phys-
just partial.
Physical address, direct.
What's that, Cash?
The physical address,
Yeah,
like your number
Exactly.
240 or whatever.
and that's all I got on it, but, I said I'd look at it just a little bit at the
Yeah.
last meeting.
Well, that's good, Bob. I appreciate that you did that. I mean, you talk to a lot more people in the village than most of us do, so,
I think the people that are ordering, they've got to make it very clear to whoever they're ordering from, this is our physical address, and this is where it's gotta come. Because you've got what, the 7B South, 7B Middle, 7B North, and 7B Extension.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 7Bs, and we get a fire call, it's like, which one are we going to? You know? Yeah.
We got the one for smoke.
Yeah, but of course, you people got a problem anyway, but that's a different issue in dispatching.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
I like your suggestion, Rick. Just look where the smoke is, yeah.
Yeah, I had forwarded you guys that email from E911 when I asked them about it. And didn't hear any response on your part, but their issue was with the Vermont Route 7B North Extension.
Which is where Garvey is.
Garvey
It's
is.
not the section we're talking about.
Okay.
No.
And the other thing is just the legal road name is Vermont Route 7B North, and it's no longer
Yep.
Vermont Route.
They're reading between the lines, they're somewhat suggesting that because it's now a town road and not Route 7 anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But again,
Not-
at the same time, they're not saying we have to change it.
No.
So I don't know.
I think right now, if people put their address out to wherever they're ordering, let sleeping dogs lie. And if we have to do something in the future, well, we do then.
I agree with that, Bob.
That's all I had on it.
All right, Selectmen's report.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve the Selectmen's report for fiscal year 21 to appear in the town report.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Seconded by, Bob.
It was a nice job.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
thank
it's
you,
a very
Katie.
good job, Katie. I especially appreciate the fact that you put that in there for Tim,
Yeah.
and so that
very
was
nice.
good. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. So all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, transfer station financial condition report.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the chairman of the board, on behalf of the board, sign the statement stating that the financial condition of the transfer station is sound, provided we ever had to close it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I guess we should just state for the public that that's an annual thing that we have to do, that
Yep.
the state wants guarantees that if something were to ever happen, the town has financial resources to effectively close the dump and not have lingering items.
Did Bob second that?
Bob did.
I did.
Since I'm next, you want me to dive into this?
Go for it.
So, coming to with my BCA hat on for a minute, which I know Katie already had made these because it came to the town too. It came in my mailbox today. I don't know if you got these today or not, but I'll hold this up. Maybe William can zoom in on it so everybody can at least see. This is the proposed redistricting for Clarendon for representative purposes is the proposal. The legislature is in process on this. It has passed the House. And I think, I'm not sure if it's actually gone through the Senate or not yet. I think it might still have to go through the Senate, but, so have you got that, William, if I put it back down? Okay. So, basically, the proposed changes are going to change essentially every district in the state to a one representative district. So everybody who is in Clarendon knows that currently with the way we are district, we have 2 representatives. This proposal is gonna cut us back to 1, and it's gonna readjust all the districts in the state, down to single-member districts. I've had some people express concern over this, because of the fact that, the feeling is that this, let's put it this way, there's feelings out there that this is going to diminish the minority in the State House even more, that it's going to give the majority party even greater hold of the State House. That's one feeling that's out there. And there's a lot of concern out there. What I would suggest, because at this point, feedback is supposed to be, it's right around the corner too, feedback is supposed to be into the state. Their hearing on Addison and Rutland County is February 1st, and everything has to be submitted in writing. And what they're looking for, I'll read this to everybody. The House is seeking, the House Committee on Government Operations is seeking feedback, number 1, feedback on the proposed district lines. So you're supposed to give them feedback on how you feel your district has been drawn. Number 2, proposals to subdivide H589's proposed 2-member districts into single-member districts. In other words, do we approve of this or not approve of this idea? BCA proposals on how to subdivide any initial district that is listed in the bill as having 3 or 4 representatives into 2 1- or 2-member districts, is another, which that doesn't really affect us. That's not part of what they're doing to us. And then any additional feedback on the LAB adopted map, which this is the map I just held up. So, long story short, I'm gonna make Katie's life miserable, I guess, because I guess for the camera out there, anybody who wants to submit feedback, written feedback, should be submitted to the town office, I would say by close of business. I haven't pulled out my, let me pull out my calendar here. In order for us to get it up there in time, which we can email it in, so I would say 1 week from today, we need to have, well, actually I would say by
Friday.
By noon.
Friday.
By noon on Monday, so that we can submit it Monday afternoon at the latest. But it'd be awesome, it'd be really good if we could have it in email form by Friday even.
Yeah.
So that we can send anything we get up. I don't know how this board feels. I don't know if we want to submit anything as a group to state what our opinion is.
What towns are in it now?
So they're redistricting us to part of Proctor, or, well, maybe that is all of Proctor.
Yeah, we've always had Proctor.
Proctor, West Rutland, but again, I would have to put this next to a map to know if that's all of West Rutland. That might only be part of it.
That's only part of them.
And then all of Clarendon, all of Wallingford, and a portion of Mount Holly.
Where it used to be
They're
Tinmouth.
Gates Road.
and Proctor was in
Everything
there,
south.
but the whole town of Proctor, I know from running for office.
Yep.
What's the savings on this? Do they say the savings on this? Do you have financial?
Well, there's no savings. It's all based on, it's all your representatives. So you're gonna have,
It's a power trip.
well, but even though you're redistricting, the state's still gonna have the same number of representatives, is my understanding. So you're not dropping
I
it.
think that every district has one representative.
Correct, but you're still gonna have the same number of representatives. It's just the way that the lines are drawn is getting,
So that one representative will represent this whole area.
Will represent
on
that.
this map, instead of
which
two.
means, in our case, whereas we have 2 right now,
Right.
where, we've got one from West Rutland and we got one from Clarendon currently.
Right.
You've got different disbursements of population now, and you are gonna have different possibilities.
But the biggest population comes from Clarendon.
Wallingford doesn't outnumber us now?
No,
Nope.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Look at the vote, registered voters. We still,
We still are just ahead?
yeah,
It's not by much.
no, but we're still the
Yeah.
biggest one. This is.
So, I mean, one of the concerns is, right now we have Tom Burdett from West Rutland, and we've got Art Peterson from Clarendon. You're gonna lose representative of one of them, for sure, because one of them's not gonna win.
Right.
That's, I mean, if this goes through. And if that were to happen, both of them are in the minority. So if one of the minority is clearly out,
It's a number.
and then let's say one of the other districts been drawn so that it's gonna go to the majority, they're effective, there's a lot of people that are questioning this and wanting to know why such a massive change. And it is also not looking great because the majority in the State House is the ones that are really pushing hard for this.
This is happening all over the country.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
And both parties are,
And it just, I mean,
Purely political.
it's political, it looks political and it smells political. I mean, it just, the way that it's gonna potentially change the State House to potentially shove the minority even more out is what people are claiming. So,
but we have a right as a select board to voice our opinion.
sure you can. Sure we can. There's nothing wrong with
I pay
that.
taxes in this town, and I wanna say, I don't wanna leave a party district or
Two-member district, two-seat district.
Yeah, having served up there for 2 terms, I know the little games that
Sure.
played. And to your point, Rob, I don't wanna see this happen to our town. We have a representative right now who lives in our town.
Sure.
Has lived here most of his life in this town, understands what the folks in town, how they
Sure.
feel, a majority of them. And I don't wanna see this change.
Well, and not only that, I mean, let's go back a few years when Dave was still I mean, and Dave was in the majority party, okay? I mean, that's the reality. So, but even in the midst of that, with this redistricting, Dave might not have even been elected. I mean, you could see it go one way or the other. So, again, I would agree to, if we're pulling the board to see what we all think, I would be in favor of having Katie draft a letter on behalf of the select board against it. I personally would be so strongly that I would say that.
Agree with that too.
And I agree.
Me too.
So I'll make a motion that we authorize Katie to draft a letter on behalf of the entire select board in unanimous opinion, to be submitted to this hearing, that the select board is not in favor of being redistricted into a single member district and would like the 2-member district to remain.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Bob got it.
I know that.
Don't matter to me.
Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, Katie, do you have any, more information for us?
So any input I get, like, do you want me to post it on the website that we're receiving feedback?
Yep, we can do that, and then we basically just need to submit it.
And it can be done email.
I think we can, that's the way I see it, is that we can submit it electronically, I believe.
This only gives us a week to respond.
It does.
What? This is pretty.
It was,
This
it
is
was,
On their end to.
This is going all over the country.
it was put across the BCA. I mean, the initial map got released last fall. And it was mentioned to the BCA, and at the time, our BCA wanted to see where it went.
Yeah.
But I do agree, this is short term.
Yeah.
This is not,
Shoving it down the throat.
this is pretty quick.
For me, it's not a case of political party whatever they call it.
Katie, on the back page of this is the
For me,
email.
it's a case of, we
Says
have
where you can submit them.
a representative who speaks for our town.
Right.
The other representative, for years, has only been to one of our town meetings. And all of a sudden, if that person, because of his many years in the legislature or whatever, he becomes the elected official in the town, he doesn't never,
Never been there.
he's never been to a select board meeting that I remember. No. And so, I wanna keep what we have. That's my reasoning. It has nothing to do with political parties or anything. We have a duly voted in representative from the town of Clarendon, and I want it to stay like that.
So,
The story.
And then Monday noon, do you want the cutoff to be?
yeah, at the latest. If you get anything, we can
The,
submit it.
the issue is, though, our audience on PEG TV won't, when's this record on TV? Like
Wednesday.
Thursday? Wednesday?
It'll show up on Wednesday,
2 days? Okay,
so.
there'll have to be a quick response.
It's on your Facebook page.
Yeah, that might. Not Facebook, but the town
Yeah, I
Page.
can.
with a brief explanation what's going on, and then, get back to us as soon as
And
possible.
what we'll do when you submit it is we'll just, cause I'm the chair of the BCA, we'll just put that in your email, you put at the request of the BCA chairman for the town of Clarendon, the following feedback is officially submitted or something like that is the way we'll word it. That we collected this and it's being sent to you all, basically.
So I call this vote. We all agree. Right?
Yep.
So. So Katie, like I said, do you have anything else for us?
For my town officers report, is that where?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was reaching out, well, trying to look for signs, for speed limit signs that you guys wanted, like the blue flashing ones. So I talked to Elan City, and they told me that blue radar speed signs are not DOT compliant in any of the 50 states.
Really?
Seriously? How does Woodstock get away with that?
That's what I said.
You talked to the town manager of Woodstock?
I haven't.
Okay.
If
you want us, I can give us information for you if you want.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was Woodstock or Bridgewater that had
Woodstock.
Well, it's Woodstock, it's right on, yeah. I think I would call the town manager of Woodstock and see what they say.
the.
Because, I mean, they're popping up all over the place. It's not just Woodstock that's got them. I've seen them in other places in the state.
The guy that I talked to said you can get them off Amazon or Wish. But,
Really?
Yeah, but they're not DOT compliant.
Maybe it's.
And I said, well, that's interesting because our neighboring town has one, and the sheriff even recommended it.
So, I wonder where stuff falls as far as that goes when we've got, if they're not DOT compliant, but we're putting it on a town road, but all signs still have to be DOT compliant technically, right? Even on a town road, is that the way it falls?
I don't know.
Cause wasn't that the big thing with all the, remember all the street signs had to be changed and all that because they weren't,
Aging,
Big enough.
stoppation, and
I haven't talked to Sergeant Cross, so I was gonna like send him that information.
yeah.
Because the guy gave me a quote for
Could it be?
pretty much the same sign that Brandon
Could
has.
it be, Katie, that the signs that they're selling aren't up to code, but other
Others do.
producers?
I don't know. He was from Pennsylvania, and he said Pennsylvania only allows like amber, but in Vermont you can have red and amber and green or whatever.
Yeah, see, that's why, especially somebody out of state that,
I'd call I'd
so
let
I
Matt
just-
give you Woodstock's information. I'd call over there.
I was just giving you an update that I'm still looking for signs and
Yeah.
trying to work on it.
Okay.
I'll also talk to Sergeant Cross.
Yeah, definitely. I think, but a town who's got some information like Woodstock or one of those, that would
and
be
how
good.
they making it stick.
Yeah, and if it isn't DOT compliant, how they got around that.
Is there any possibility the League of Cities and Towns might have some information on it? I don't know.
I've lost all faith in the leagues lately. How many times have we reached out and asked them a question and all of a sudden, well, you'll have to talk to your attorney about that.
Yeah. Let's start with Woodstock.
What? Well, no, I mean, seriously, one of these times, I'd love to have a person sitting here, cause I'd say, what are we paying you for?
Exactly,
Right.
If you're not gonna answer our questions, why are we paying you our dues?
exactly.
I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Well, you know why you're paying me.
I know.
No comment. All right, you have anything else, Katie?
That's all, I believe.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Do you wanna do our concerns first and then we'll do it, or you wanna do it before that?
That way he can pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
All
go.
right, you have any concerns?
I'm all set.
I'm all set.
Me too.
I should have brought it up under highway. It's just a quick question.
Uh-huh.
The entryway to Middle Road up here, right here on the,
Yep.
is that up to, so, like the turning lane, when you get to right where you turn,
Yeah.
there's like, they used to plow it clean, but they're leaving, I mean, you're driving through basically a
Yeah, I
pile
know
of
what you're
snow.
talking about.
That's
It's not cleaned up.
on the Route 7 corridor.
It's on the Route 7 corridor, but I guess
That's state.
my question is, how close to Route 7 are we obligated to keep clean? Like the entry to the road, do we have to
It's
keep
my,
clean?
it's my understanding that the state is, just like we have our right-of-ways,
Yeah,
it's my understanding that we actually shouldn't have to plow beyond that chain link fence. But we do go out to the end.
clean up the end.
To clean up and turn around. We actually spend a
well,
little more time up there.
so if we have ended up having to do it, I'm just gonna tell you it needs to be cleaned up. I don't, even today, it's like, so they clearly never took the time, like what you do at the Four Corners or at wherever, you know, where you have to clean the snow on the corners and push it.
Same way Mike's Country Store and crossing that creek.
Sure, you gotta open up the corners,
We do.
you know?
But we don't do the jug handle, we call it. By garbage, we don't do that. They do that because they swing in.
They
there.
do a turnaround there.
We go beyond that.
It might not hurt if we're talking to somebody, just to give them a heads up,
I can
like,
talk to Brad.
this winter, I've noticed that the turning, it seems like it's been more than just this storm.
Yeah, you're right.
That the turn to come into Middle Road out here, the corner has never been cleaned up, so you're driving through the mounded snow.
League, I don't know,
Could be.
I don't know how the liability reads on that, if if something happens with a town truck out on Route 7
Well,
section.
correct, but I also wonder liability wise, because they're turning into Middle Road, and it's probably within that.
So you're talking north of the turn-in? No,
As you
Basically,
turn in.
right here, right on the entry to Middle Road.
right.
It's just, if you look at it,
a
it's
T.
just not, the corners aren't cleaned up. They just didn't clean it up, and you're
They-
driving over a mound of snow.
They never have, and I can talk to Brad about that, or else I can get hold of, V-Trans, Brian, and ask him, one of the state guys, to find out.
I mean, to me,
Where, I honestly thought that the chain link fence is like
Is the line.
our right of way,
correct.
and they're responsible for,
I mean, literally, if, you know, the little truck cleans up the across the divided, the turn,
other states.
yeah, the state's little truck
Yeah.
cleans that up.
Yeah.
When they're there cleaning that up, it would take them all 5 extra minutes to clean up the other side of the road, and it's just not.
It's not never happened. It's never happened.
But you know,
I don't know, I just noticed it more,
Okay.
and I know I don't usually drive that road in the wintertime. I usually am driving the back roads into Rutland, but coming home today, I actually came down 7.
So when you pulled in that breakdown lane to turn on the middle road,
Yeah, the turning
turn
lane's
in.
not even really
No.
clean. The turning lane's not even
no, that's what I
necessarily
was
cleaned
gonna
up.
say. They're doing a lousy job on them. The ones up, on the south side of the city, which is State Road, and even going on to Route 4.
And to me, it looked like maybe they took one swipe on the turning lane, but again, then when you got to the turn, it's mounded up on they didn't clean up the turn.
Yeah.
It's just,
see, and the other issue there in those the turning there, they got the curbing, the marble.
yes.
That's very difficult.
But here's my concern about it. So, you know, I'm coming in, and there was a vehicle there today. If I'm coming and I'm turning into Middle Road,
You're
and
turning
there's a
into that
vehicle
vehicle
sitting
there.
here, if there was ice underneath that, or if I caught that mounded snow and turned my wheels, there's no guarantee that I'm actually gonna, I mean, obviously you're gotta drive for the conditions.
Right.
But somebody coming down through there, you know, God forbid a Mill River kid or somebody's coming down through and got too much speed on, and then they turn their wheels, they're gonna be right into a car that's sitting waiting to turn south or go across.
Yep, I can, contact Brad.
Yep, and that's, I mean, and any car sitting there, that's the driver's side too. They're gonna be right into the driver's side of any vehicle if they don't turn. So,
I'll look at it tomorrow just so I know exactly what
yeah.
I'm talking about, and I'll get hold of Brad.
I figured, and the reason I brought it was just my question was I didn't know where we started and they ended, you know. The
honestly
chain link
don't know, but
fence makes
I
sense.
think chain link fence is actually the right of way.
That would make sense.
I would think that they'd have responsibility to that chain link fence. But
Sure.
we've been plowing right out to Route 7 just to,
And what,
we have no place to dump it.
Sure.
So we actually have to get down Route 7 and get past some marble blocks
yep.
and discharge it off and then back out.
And where I'm talking about is definitely outside the chain link fence.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the turning lane
Yeah.
onto.
It's on Route 7.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Give you a quick update on, I think the fire chief and one of my buddies in Woodstock, he says you gotta call he gave me the number, you gotta call the police, the police chief bottom. And, he says we catch a lot of crap from the state, they are illegal to have.
Really?
Seriously? But I'll get Katie the
So
information.
how are they writing tickets and making them stick?
It's kinda-
Well, they're not writing tickets.
No.
That's why they're not writing tickets based on them. But,
Yeah, he said it's the blue light part that's illegal on it.
no kidding.
He said, but the police chief put him in.
And that's on a state. That's on a state road too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
But it does slow people down.
it does, get your attention, boy.
Sure it does.
All of a sudden,
The West Rutland one gets my attention by
Yeah.
the church, by the cemetery over there. I'm like,
Yep.
and I don't go that fast, but just,
I go down the road like this.
Out to all the towns.
See, when I go,
Yeah.
ask Robbie, he can tell you. That's how I go past it.
okay.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss.
I just-
Oh,
my-
sorry.
My little piece.
Sorry.
I talked to Cash about this, but as you may have noticed around here, there's been an influx of log trucks
Yes.
right up this road, and they're not coming up here slow. Okay, and they've slowed down some, but we only have, I think you said a verbal agreement with Mill River on that.
Yeah.
I think perhaps we should have a written agreement with that. They're not slowing down, and they're coming back empty the same way. And they're coming through, this is 35 here, and I know they're coming through 45
Yeah.
easily.
Well, wouldn't that be a sheriff's?
Well, it could be,
That,
but if we have something in writing to them, it could be more effective to have the sheriffs. And I did talk to, I did send a note down to, not a note, but I did talk to them at the office about that. And
At Mill River.
at the sheriff's department. And I said, absolutely, you want to sit there and write them up, write them up.
Or if you can get a DOT enforcement officer to come down. To go there.
That too. That's what I thought.
You wouldn't have any log trucks then.
Yeah, that's call on the radio and say, go the other way.
they'd be using Squires Road like they're supposed to,
Yeah,
right?
That was
that might turn them around, just getting a DOT
But,
out.
that was my thought
Hey.
was that they had
I can go
DOT
hold
set up
Quimbo if
here
you want
and
me
they're
to.
coming down our way to get
on
around them.
a Friday, they set up right here in the front of town hall.
That would be
I
nice.
could just call Quimbo.
What was
Well,
that?
this-
There's enough room here to put the scales out, isn't there? They don't need much space.
They can use our half of the church property.
I think they only do it Tuesdays and Thursdays, actually.
They only do wait.
Well, overweight.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
At any rate, I think perhaps,
You had to broadcast that, didn't you?
maybe by next meeting, we can kind of get a draft started and make it a more of a little bit, because it's, quite honestly, it's a little scary seeing them trucks come through here, tandem trucks too.
If you're
I followed a log truck with a
I'll tell you
trailer.
after.
He
Yeah.
pulled into the,
not gonna talk over
Today.
everybody.
and he pulled into the mill. And so I went in and I waited till he parked and I asked him. And he says, well, especially when you have a trailer, it's easier to not have to sit at the light to come in this way. I said, well, do you realize that you're not supposed to be doing that? And I said,
That's
nobody ever
because
told me.
there's a rest area up there that DOT sits in.
Yeah.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's what I thought.
They've been
back
there
then.
before.
I've caught
But
many
you had to be
trailers
8 or
going
10
over
or
7B because of that.
Okay.
Bless you.
But anyway, that's my only concern.
Hey, you know
But
what?
Brad, I think we need to send them a formal letter saying that, yeah, get back to the old standard and,
While we're on this discussion too, also to talk to the mill about hauling lumber out, and I know it's gypsy drivers, it's not, local people. They're running Molten Avenue all the time in their 53-foot trailers.
Oh,
full
really?
of loading. I'm surprised that little cement bridge hasn't got hit more than it has up there.
It's only because it's small and narrow. Well, short. Oh, you mean hit?
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to plow
Okay,
that.
if we're good, I'll make a motion to go into executive session,
I'll
discuss a
second it.
personal matter.
You second it?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Who seconded that?